Gaunt Reapers underground. We hope you survive.
Yes. Here we are on Satanic Saturday. You've all taken to sin with minimal prompting. One of my favorite quotes from Little Nicky. But here we are, man. We're kicking off Satanic Saturday in epic fashion. You guys are used to the goddamn program being on at 8 o'clock. But I said to myself, what better way than to start off this evening of fuckery, as it were, talking about one of my favorite topics in my entire life since I was 13 years old, Satan. And who better to discuss it with than my brother Lorcan Black? It's been 2 fucking years, man. Yeah. Since we first found out that you were doing these amazing novels. Here we are 2 years later, and you have a new one, and it is known as The Satanic Gospels, Essays of a Satanist. And that's what we're going to be deep diving into this evening. So guess what? Share this shit out. Anywhere and everywhere there is somebody that needs to hear some damn truth for once. And love Satan. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Because right now, this is one of those pivotal points in our history that I feel like we're starting to rise a bit more than ever. So we're going to take a quick I can't even speak. Maybe I can get it out. Quick commercial break over to our brothers at Villain Arts Tattoos. Check that shit out. That's right. Y'all know what the fuck to do. I've been telling you for 4 goddamn years now. Villain Arts Tattoo Convention's the largest in the United States, the world. And if they come to your city, your state, your town, make sure you get down to this convention and get yourself a high quality tattoo from some of the best tattoo artists in the country. Unfortunately, I have no more appearances this year. Because it is spooky season, and 'tis the season to be spooky at all of the great horror cons coming up. Because in 2 weeks, yours truly, the big bad devil daddy himself, will be coming to Slash and Bash. Get ready, Topeka, Kansas. And here we are, ready. It's so excited, man, to have Lorcan Black on the show. How you doing tonight, my brother?
I'm doing very well. How about you?
Keeping it greasy, being sinful, being my usual crazy self. So we absolutely loved your Satan Always series. How did that go? Because it's been a minute since we had a chat.
Yeah. The Satan Calling book came out in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And I was planning on doing a Satan Always, a follow-up called Satan Always.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized I did not want to do another book where I had collaborators. it's just too much of a headache. It sets you up for too much ridicule and just backyard bullshit and everything. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to squash that. So I decided to write all of it myself.
Nice.
So that way it's only me to blame this time, so.
Well, I think that probably also protects you a little bit as well, that these, your contributions to what's being written are truly your own, and no one else can say, oh, you were just, pawning off this person or that person. So I understand that whole collaborator idea for sure.
Yep. It it turned out to be a pretty wicked shit show at one point with it. So yeah, it's just not worth it. So I most definitely I've had a lot of fun writing, and what's funny is I started writing these essays,
Yes.
and years ago, and I just kind of had them in my notes on my phone, and they just built up and built up and built up, and I didn't even know how much content I had. So I started copying, pasting, and emailing them, and then putting them in, on my Word program. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, oh my God, I've got like, it's a ton here.
Mm-hmm.
So, in the end, what happened is it's a trilogy. So it is 3 books. They're all going to be called The Satanic Gospels, Essays of a Satanist, just volume 1, 2, and 3. So volume 1 and 2 are coming out on Walpurgisnacht next year, April 30th.
Which is so fucking perfect.
Yeah, the 6th, and it's the 60th anniversary of the Church of Satan.
60 years of the Church of Satan.
Yeah.
Let that resonate with y'all out there in the Black Flame universe, that we ain't going away.
No.
We ain't ever gonna stop.
Yeah. And volume 3, I just think I'm gonna hold off on it until maybe Halloween of next year.
That's not a bad idea. So, I bet you it'll be a lot better than the Halloween Ends film of that trilogy, because whoa, what a stinker.
Yeah. Anything would be better than that. That was
pure garbage.
Yeah. I don't know what they were thinking when they did that. That was one of the biggest fuck yous I've ever seen in film. I mean, if there was ever a time to throw popcorn at the screen, it's like, you've got to be kidding.
Oh, I would have picked my whole desk up and thrown it at the TV. I'd be like, woo-wee, I'm glad I didn't pay, 20, 30, 40 bucks just to get into the movie theater to watch that, just to be like, haha, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I did. Yeah.
No, yeah. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I think this, and we talked a little bit about this before broadcast. One of the things that I really enjoy, especially a lot of the great Anton LaVey's works, were his essays. And I love the essay format because they are intimate thoughts, from you, and how you feel about certain topics. Because people are always talking about relevancy in today's world. Is it evolving? Is it moving forward? And I think people, just don't do their homework hard enough, really understand the Satanic Bible in the way that a lot of us do. What were some of the topics that really kind of you wanted to touch upon? Because I mean, the veil is off. Everyone knows, like maybe 20% these days as far as what the philosophy is. But
Yeah.
what topics did you kind of choose to write about? There's so many.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, nothing was off the table. It's first, let me just make sure everyone understands that these essays, and this is why I called the book Essays of a Satanist, not
Yes,
essays in Satanism.
correct.
This is not, these are not books or essays on how to be.
Nope.
They're how I see things. This is an opportunity for people to see the world through my eyes. So you could read it and completely disagree, and
Oh, for sure.
that's cool. The idea of it is I would want you to read the essay, come up with your own conclusion, even if it's the complete opposite, and then go from there. It's to encourage people to think, to try and just break out of their box. So I wrote about everything, religion, politics, movies, music, other books, everything. Literally, I would be driving down the road and I would see a sign, something, anything. And it was just like, I'm going to write about that. I'm going to write about that. So yeah, there's a lot in there that you're going to be like, he wrote an entire essay about that. I mean, so yeah.
For me, it could be a billboard because fucking Satan knows that here in the Midwest, there's plenty of really interesting ones.
Right.
No, that is fantastic, man. And, we have a lot of, I just wanted to welcome everybody out there in the comment section. Love you guys. Good to see you, Kyler. Good to see you, Nate. Morty, always a pleasure, sir. Lizzie's out there and a whole bunch of other people. Don't be afraid to ask questions. If you got one, as long as you're not being a dick. That's the only thing I ever asked, and let's just keep this above board because most people, I think that are in here tonight, especially, they have a decent understanding, but many are looking for, even deeper, because I agree with you so much on different aspects of how we view Satanism and the Satanic Bible. Some people say, oh, very hedonistic, maybe sometimes misogynistic, all that shit. Of course, some people take it political. I mean, as far as I know, we're also in the age of the satanic feminist in certain cases. There's just so many different things. So it's always cool because I feel you've always had a really good touch on things. Some people just don't even want to talk about it, which is why I feel that we're unholy blessed that you are doing these writings.
Well, I'm not going to reiterate, exactly, what Satanism is. And
No,
everything,
please
but,
don't,
so,
because we've
yeah,
done that.
because yeah, that's the problem is, this is a religion of the individual.
Correct.
So read if you're curious about it, go read the Satanic Bible, go to the Church of Satan website. They've got an FAQ, you can go through there and there's a ton of information, clears everything up nice and quick.
Yeah.
But for me, you'll see a lot on TikTok. There are a lot of gatekeepers.
Yes.
I don't do that. My time is far too precious. And I'm not going to sit there and waste my time on people that really should be able to figure it out for themselves. If you can read the book and you understand it and you identify with it and you see yourself in it, then join the club. That's who you are. If you don't get it, just keep moving.
Yep.
It's the people that don't understand it that try and make it something else. and they twist it, and this is why we've got the Satanic Temple and all these other whack jobs out there who do everything in the name of Satan.
Right.
It's like, we don't need to clean up the streets in the name of Satan. Just go clean up the street.
Nope. Nothing ever has been done, honestly, in the name of Satan. We've never had to. People always, it always kills me. Oh, it's God's will. I mean, going back to the fucking Crusades, you're doing this for the Lord's work. Well, do you ever hear that in Satanism? Hell no. Because we are focused on ourselves.
Yeah.
And I love this. I happened to catch this on your Facebook. The war between reality and reverie. I really enjoyed what you had to say there. Where you say every human being faces the same unavoidable fact, existence. We wake, we hunger, we desire, we suffer, and eventually we die. The question is not whether these things happen, but how we interpret them. You go on to say, the Satanist armed with reason accepts existence as blunt and beautiful reality. The Christian armed with fantasy insists on turning it into a cosmic scavenger hunt of guilt and invisible promises. That was so perfectly put, man. What kind of inspired you to essay on that?
My mother. Really. Her and I get into some pretty interesting conversations. She accepts who I am, but she doesn't understand. I
take it she's Catholic.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
She was raised that way, and
sure,
she's diehard in it. So we always end up having these conversations. It never goes well, but and it's not like I'm trying to convert her or anything like that, but she ends up getting very preachy. So it's like that. Just, I'm like, but
no, I understand that.
She's 76 years old. She's an older lady, and if that's what brings her comfort, hey, I mean, I'm not going to sit there and try and like step on what helps her sleep at night,
Right. And I think that has always been one thing about us that has always remained. We don't go out of our way to say, hey, what you're believing is wrong. We don't go out of our way to go, hey, don't you want to, live free and die with dignity or anything like that? You know what I mean? It's always in the reverse. And I totally get what you mean. And
because we don't care.
No, I mean, we really don't.
It's
why am I giving up paradise? Yeah. I don't fucking care.
It's none of my business. I mean, like I said, to each their own. Satanism is not recruiting. We're not looking for the Church of Satan is not looking for new members.
No, there's no posters or leaflets or billboards or anything.
No, if you find it, you find it. But
would you almost say that it almost finds us in a lot of ways?
It depends on how you look at it. Like I was talking to somebody the other day about, they were asking me why I called the books the Satanic Gospels.
Right.
And I said, well, I consider myself to be a fairly intelligent human being.
Well, yeah, that's evident.
And over the last few years, I've definitely had something to say.
Yes.
Thus the books. But from a mass standpoint, it's kind of counterproductive to call it the Satanic Gospels. It's automatically going to turn people away, just the title alone. So why did I call it that? Well, because I would say that if you have the guts to buy the books with that title, then you deserve the knowledge that's in it. You deserve the story that's in it. So,
Absolutely. And it's not like you're saying that this is gospel,
no.
this is what you believe. This is more to inspire.
Yes.
And I got that, I mean, obviously I'm fairly intelligent myself. I'm kind of crazy, but but I am fairly intelligent myself. And that's what I gathered from it. Just knowing that that's what most of us try to do. It's not that we seek to inspire. It's one of those things where, if we can, I don't know. I don't know if you could call it helping our fellow man or anything like that, but just putting good works out there for those that are on this path with us. I think it very well could inspire.
Yeah.
I do not go out of my way to go, hey, have you heard the dark word of the Lord of the Abyss? No, I don't. But if somebody asks me, I mean, I'm going to give you an answer unless I can already tell in 2 seconds if you're an asshole. I'm not about to waste my time.
Yeah. And that's honestly, and that's why I don't gatekeep, and that's why are you on TikTok? Do you?
Believe it or not,
Do that?
I am, and I really need to probably do more with it.
They're
Thank you,
generally
Josh. Good to see you, brother.
there ends up being a lot of lives, TikTok lives that center around discussing Satanism.
Right.
Some of them have it right. Most of them have it wrong.
Which is fucked up, isn't it?
Yeah. But like I said, I was talking to a friend of mine, Count Caligula.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with them.
I call these people book cover Satanists.
Oh my goodness.
They're the ones who picked up the Satanic Bible. They looked at the book cover, and then they were like, "Okay, I'm a Satanist, and I want to talk about this."
How?
Yeah. And you'll notice they're usually the ones that they start a live. They're encouraging the conversation just by starting that live about Satanism. But then if you ask questions about Satanism, they're like, well, I'm not here to educate you. Well, then why did you start the live?
Yep.
What are you doing here? Are you
What's
here?
The narrative?
Yeah, I mean, it's like these people are just there to ridicule. It's, I don't want to educate you on anything because I might get something wrong publicly and then be looked.
That's exactly
totally
why.
on.
It's the easy cop out to not have to answer something. Yeah. It's like, like you said, you either get it or you don't.
Yeah.
So if you're going to go on a social media that, in front of basically the world, whoever, follows your hashtag, if you can't back up what you're talking about, then why are you talking about it?
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
And that's why I kind of shy away from a lot of that when it comes to social media, because it just got to be stupid and exhausting.
Yeah. Yeah. And, just like Anton said, it'd be great if stupidity was painful. But unfortunately, here's the thing. Stupidity is painful. It's usually just to the person on the other side of it.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's always us.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And that's another one of your essays that I kind of really liked, because not too many people talk about the division that is within Satanism right now, the fork in the road. I thought was really cool. You said here is where the statement divides Satanists into 2 paths. Some read it as license, as excuse. They lean into the worst side, taking it as justification to exploit or sneer at all softness. See, they proclaim, I am an animal and animals devour. I don't think they understood one fucking word that Anton was trying to say with that.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. It's, and
I
this is
mean,
all, about
yeah,
statement 7. It's just people are always going to interpret something their own way, and that's
for
fine.
sure.
That's fine. But one of the reasons that I pulled back so heavy from social media was because generally when you would see somebody who was new to the scene, and had proclaimed themselves to be a Satanist,
Hmm.
all of a sudden were just massive assholes. And if you ask them, like, hey man, why are you being such a dick? I'm a Satanist. And it's
That
okay.
doesn't make you automatically a dick, though.
Yeah, it's like that why you're in this? You
Hmm.
thought becoming a Satanist is a license to be an asshole. I Cool. To me that's incredibly counterproductive. Um,
Extremely.
you know, um, if you're a jackass to everyone you encounter, lesser magic kind of goes out the window. You've got nobody left to work with. You're on your own. So cool. Just I,
Well,
I don't see it.
I feel though at the end of the day, it's not making the rest of us look bad. I think they're just making themselves look bad.
Yeah, yeah,
Honestly, because anyone that has ever read the book, even if they're just a straight atheist and don't really, point one way or the other, are going to realize that these guys are fucking stupid. I look at how many people all of a sudden proclaim they're Vikings after watching the series.
yeah.
I truly understand the path of the warrior. Do you?
No,
I don't think
no.
you do.
Yeah, these are these are people who cry when they get a hangnail,
Right.
and they know what it's like to be a warrior. No,
Sure. Just because you may romanticize
yeah,
about being on the battlefield doesn't necessarily mean you're ready to have to take a life in order to procure your own. And
yeah,
and for us, it's very very symbolic
yeah.
in a way. Um, with our philosophy, we're not out. I still can't believe in 2025 that I run into people going, "Oh, well, I heard you guys have a holiday where you sacrifice some animal," and I'm just like, dude, stop right there.
Uh, not us.
History books are great, but not everyone who wrote them wrote it in actual facts. Would you agree with that?
It, hey man, stupidity is eternal. It
It
goes
really
back
is.
all the way back from to the caveman. And here's
What's up, brother Cody?
one of the essays that I wrote.
Hmm.
Kind of takes a deep dive into stupidity, because in the end we're all stupid to somebody. We are.
Oh yeah, I
You
know
know,
I'm
we
stupid to probably a
we
ton of
can
people.
yeah, I mean we can claim intelligence all day long, but there's always somebody smarter than us and there's always someone dumber than
What's up,
us.
Christina?
So it's like, yes, I'm intelligent, you're intelligent, but there are way more intelligent people out there, and there are a lot of stupid people out there. So we're all stupid to somebody and we're all intelligent to somebody.
Agreed.
The thing is, for me, I would rather hang out with the people that are smarter than me. I would much rather.
I've always kind of felt the same kind of pull, if
Well,
that
see,
makes
I'm not
sense.
going to learn anything from the stupid people. Other than don't be like them. So if I'm going to surround myself with around people, I want to be able to gain something from that. That's
Well, and that's something I feel, Satanism actually does inspire, or it should, to become, or take in as much wisdom as you can. You should always be trying to learn something new, because otherwise we become stagnant, man.
yeah, absolutely. Yep. And
Achilles, all the way from Scotland. What's up, brother? Sorry.
Achilles. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Long time viewer too.
Nice. Hello, hello.
Yeah, right. Now you're Irish, correct?
Of course.
Yes, sir. Okay. I thought I had read that because there was another essay that I thought was really powerful, and it dealt with a very taboo topic. I'm sure you know the one I'm talking about. We just don't like to say it just because we never know how Facebook is going to take anything like that. Because they, always try to burn me at the stake, as you very well know.
Yeah.
But I keep coming back.
Freedom of speech. You gotta love it.
I'm trying, believe me. But they just can't get rid of me. But I thought that was a very, very, very insightful way to discuss that topic, and it kind of seemed like you took it, from an Irish perspective. Can you elaborate on that just a little bit?
It's just something that is near and dear to me because a lot of I hear a lot of stories from my grandparents, and there were from what you're taught here in school about it was
Mm-hmm.
completely different than what I was being told. So of course, at first, especially when you're young, you're like, well, the teachers must be right. My grandparents are probably just making stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
But as you get more and more and more into it, it's like, oh my gosh, there really are a lot. There's a lot of material out there referencing the truth about that,
Mm-hmm.
and it was horrendous what the British were doing to the Irish, during that time period.
Oh, British.
Yeah,
My goodness.
yeah,
Don't even get me started on that.
yeah. So that was actually a lengthy essay, but I wanted people to understand that, and I put a lot of references in there. I made sure that there was a lot of material for people to go check out to double check. Double check me. There, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll admit I'm wrong. I'm not that kind of person. I'm wrong a lot. And that's good. That's at least I'm trying.
Right.
But the point of it all is if you're wrong, acknowledge you're wrong, learn from it, and move forward. So,
That's
but yeah,
the only way.
that was writing that essay kind of pissed me off. It stirred up a lot of emotions, but
Oh, sure.
I'm a passionate guy, so what can I say?
Oh, most of us are, really.
Yeah.
Although everyone thinks we're cold and dead inside. Right? I mean, my coffin's right over there. I mean, I take souls, but that's just my day job. I'm actually a cuddly, skeletal, cuddly bear. Oh, goodness gracious.
It's usually people with face paint like that love, that are the ones that are sending the heart emojis, while they're at a concert. They're like, I love you, I love you, I love you.
Oh man, could you see me if I was caught at the Coldplay concert?
That would have been great. Yeah, I'd be like, I know that guy. Dumbass.
Right. Oh my goodness. But again, I kind of feel like, we are kind of at a pivotal point. A lot of people still don't get it. So my hope with your new book is that it could give somebody good direction, because we come across so many people, like you said, oh, I'm a Satanist. Well, you don't just wake up one day, proclaiming that. Is this something you run into a lot?
Well, if you're a Satanist, you were born that way.
Yeah.
No, here's the thing.
That's what people misunderstand.
Yeah, if you come across the Satanic Bible, you open it up and you read it. By the end of it, you should basically just be saying, "This is me. I see myself in these pages. All of the things that he's talking about, this is how I've seen it from day one. This is how I think." So, then you go from there. Whether you declare yourself a Satanist or you just enjoy the book and be like, you know what, this dude, hit the net right on the head. But there are people out there who believe that, see, we say study, not worship. Okay.
Right.
So, but a lot of people are under the impression that they can study to become a Satanist. Now,
it's almost an oxymoron, isn't it?
well, there are some people who believe that you can do that. But my thing is if you have to study to become a Satanist, then you weren't a Satanist to begin with, and you had to alter who you were,
right,
to become this new person. So you weren't a Satanist. You weren't a Satanist. Now you're just a phony. So, it's difficult, especially this day and age. You go back and you hear a lot of people. They'll read the writings of Anton, and they're like, "Oh gosh, he was misogynistic and this and that." It's like, I mean, how long ago were these books put out, guys? What do you think? I mean, people were a little bit different back then,
So glad you brought that up. You don't. People.
But he loved women. I mean, he wrote a whole book on how women had the power to rule the world.
He truly did. It's called the Satanic Witch. You ever heard of it? And he always was trying to empower them, not enslave them. No. And I think if men didn't get that, then they truly aren't Satanists themselves.
Yeah. it's a battle I no longer fight.
Oh yeah,
I think
women are extremely powerful.
Yeah,
I always say anyone that can unlock their their hidden talents is what I like to call it. Just imagine what they could do. They could change their whole situation.
Yeah. Well, women pretty much rule the world anyway. A lot of them don't realize it. I mean, how many of them have convinced their men to do what they wanted them to do?
Oh, sure.
I mean, that's lesser magic at its finest, and so it's what it is.
And that's not magic with a K, people. Whenever I hear that word, I always love that comment that he wrote in there, because it's true. It's everyone's concept of what magic actually is across the board. Yeah. Screwy, man. We're not in Harry Potter land, people.
Which is a bummer. I still haven't gotten my letter.
Yeah, right. I'm still waiting.
Yeah.
I know what house I'm in, but that's just the way it is.
Yeah. People always, when they find out I'm a Harry Potter nut, they're all like, "Oh, you're in Slytherin." I'm like, no,
that's me. I'm every time I take the fucking test, I'm a Slytherin.
No, I always will be. I'm a proud Gryffindor, and
there's nothing wrong with that.
I always tell people that I am the Dark Lord of Gryffindor. So.
Hell yeah. That would even make them that much more cool, in my opinion. But I mean, the concept of darkness and light and finding that balance, and realizing that there is light within darkness, that there's nothing wrong with embracing the darker natures of oneself. How do you feel about that concept?
Well, I mean, that's why. Okay, so you may or may not know, but like my signature sign off Like my goodbye that I say to people is, may the darkness bring you comfort.
Yes, sir. I do.
So
Yep.
that
I
kind of
love that.
wraps,
I love that.
yeah, that kind of wraps that whole thing up in there. It's, you know, you can find light in the darkness and vice versa. You know, it's how you look at it. It's how it's perceived. You
Mm-hmm.
know, people always identify dark with evil, light with good. You probably shouldn't do that. You know,
Nope.
it's you're limiting yourself and putting yourself in this box, and there's no fun inside the box. You got to get out.
Right. Absolutely. Director Josh Wynn here says, as a born again Christian, I don't judge a person's lifestyle or what they believe in or not believe in, as I choose to respect everyone for who they are and hope to get enriched just by talking to the person and taking the time to get to know them. Because in the end, we all should respect each other and not judge anyone. Just my opinion. And in my opinion, that's just being a good human.
Yeah. We're built to judge.
That
We judge everything. Perception is reality. You know, you look at uh, anything, everything. You know, we're judging. How this is why marketing is the way it is. You know, that
oh
these
my
are
goodness.
colors and keywords and everything, because everything is, we're constantly, you know, hitting that. And I don't know, people who say they don't judge other people,
Hmm.
personally I call bullshit. They're doing it constantly. um
Sometimes not knowing they are.
yeah, and that's the thing. That
Hmm.
they say they actually, I'm not even going to go there. So
I think I know where
yeah,
what you're putting
yeah,
down.
but for me, respect, and I'm big on this. For me, respect is earned, not just given freely.
No, no, no. You can't.
No, and you see this a lot, um, even you know, amongst other Satanists, and you know, it's, there are some people maybe with titles, um, and they'll believe that they should be granted a certain level of respect. Okay, initially, I don't treat anyone like
Mm-mm.
they're, you know, an asshole. Um, but I'm quick to come to that decision, based on, you know, our interactions. But
Actions are
I
everything.
talk to everybody the same.
Hmm.
I don't care who you are, what title some other person gave you. I'm going to talk to you the way I talk to anyone else, regardless. In those conversations, if we are earning each other's respect, great. That's how that works for me. I don't just walk up to somebody and like, oh, it's so great to meet you. Oh, you know, da, ba,
Yeah,
ba,
there's
ba,
no
ba.
boot licking going on there,
No, you know,
and
I can't
that's not
stand
how
that.
it should be.
It's so fake and it's so phony, and you know, I
Yeah.
mean, the fanboy garbage. I just don't do that, and I catch a lot of hell for that. Um,
Oh, yeah.
but
I can only imagine.
it's okay. You know, it's, I don't lose sleep at night. You
Mm-mm.
know, I mean, it is what it is. But I don't. There are some people that will go out of their way to disrespect you if you don't have a title, and
Mm.
that's where I'm like, okay, well, to me that again makes no sense. Why
No.
set out to be a jackass?
Right.
You know, it's, you know, that's when you start seeing that little bit of herd mentality, you know, creeping into some of these people, and it's, ugh, sickening.
Again, where it's not something to close the gates on people, like it's there's just this inner circle. If it's for you, it's for you.
Yeah.
I don't care if you have a title or not. It's like you said. I mean, I will literally talk to you, and I find out, as you said, very quickly whether or not
Yeah.
where your headspace is, where your heart is. Um, as far as understanding, what this belief is. You know, people automatically think I don't have any Christian friends. The fuck I don't. I know plenty. I work with plenty. And we're not going, well, you really should, or you might want to come over to this side. We don't do that. There are, just that's that level of respect you're talking about.
One of the greatest, one of the best men that I know is, a pastor. And
I know now we're going to get, a hail of.
It'll be all right. But I mean, he's a great guy, and he's always treated me with respect. And what's hilarious is he bought my last book. This is a pastor. He purchased a book called Satan Calling. So, but he gets it. He knows what he was purchasing.
Well, and that's what Anton tried, so, greatly to get people to understand is there is a difference between Satanism and devil worship. Those are two distinctly different things.
Yeah, devil worshipers are just Christians. Okay, they are. The devil worshipers.
Kind of glad you said that too.
Devil worshipers are Christians who are pissed off at their God for whatever reason and have decided to rebel and give worship to the bad guy in that story. And I'm like, how do you not see this? That's the devil in that story. That's the Christian story that you're worshiping. In order to believe in that devil, you got to believe in that God. You're a Christian. Stupidity.
I'm sure this comes up a lot within some of your essays.
I get, and that's the nature of the beast. If you're going to talk about Satanism, generally that's the initial idea is, oh my God, you worship the devil. And then you have to go through the whole thing. No,
there's no oath. There's no this, there's no that.
Yeah. If you don't believe in the devil, why would you call it Satanism? Okay, here, let me tell you. Yeah. And some people get off on spewing that knowledge and telling that over and over and over and over again. And I'm like, do you think you're liberating anybody? Cool. You know about Satanism. Awesome.
Right.
But
that doesn't make you any place in society. By doing that or proclaiming that.
Well, nowadays, most people that ask me about Satanism, I'm just like, I don't want to talk about it. Go read the book and go to the.
That's
go to
the first
website.
thing I always say. Yeah. You've just got to read the book.
Yeah.
Please. If you have questions. I'm always open for good discussion.
I love the philosophy, but I simply don't like people enough in order to feed into it anymore. I'm too old.
It's not our job. It's no one's job when it comes down to brass tacks, whether or not you are or you aren't. If you're buying into it, I will say this, and I want to get your opinion on that. If you buy into it for all the wrong reasons, fucking stop.
And that's the thing is they won't. If they've already bought into it for whatever reason, they're not going to stop. And it's always somebody, like I said, I'm going to keep coming back to TikTok, and it's always somebody with 30,000 followers.
It's crazy,
who decides they're going to,
because they figured out the algorithm, right,
or whatever. But they decided that they're going to start talking about Satanism and giving people the ins and outs of it and everything. I can't even remember the huzzy's name. Something Mother Morningstar or something. I can't remember.
No, it's always something so hippie, isn't it?
Yeah, and she's clearly a Satanic Temple sympathizer, and she it. There is so much wrong about what she says. It's unreal. And there are real Satanists who actually try and help her. They send comments. They stitch, videos, and man, all she does is resist. And then she says they're the bad guys. Oh, look, here's the people just trying to run me out or put me down. Right there, you've let everybody know who has a brain that you have no idea what Satanism is.
No.
And these people are everywhere. They're everywhere.
And it's sad because, I mean, it's not a popularity contest.
But they use it for it. They use it. They're trying to. I can't stand the idea of people nowadays who, with the whole, I want as many likes as I can get. I want as many views as I can get. I want more followers. It's pathetic to me to yearn for that. If it's got something to do with you selling a product, okay, then I can understand it.
For a business aspect, yeah.
Yes. But if you're just yapping and you're checking your Facebook every 15 minutes, oh, who liked my post? Who liked my post? Man, you really should reevaluate yourself and find out why you're so needy. I mean,
right.
It's so sad.
I mean, I won't lie. I'll always, check to see, after I've done a podcast, because there's 4 different shows on the network. So I'm going to check, each one of the numbers to see, well, was that a good direction? Was that not a good direction? But at the end of the day, Facebook don't pay me. I don't give 2 fucks. They don't pay my bill.
But see, you're utilizing this.
Putting out, good content.
But you're utilizing this for more of a business standpoint. You use this to promote things and promote yourself and with your movies and all these cons you go to and everything. So that's different. But like I said, some people just love the sound of their own voice.
Oh, I swear that's true. I've seen some seriously stupid shit, and there's like a million, likes or views on it. I'm like, like I don't want to break anyone's heart here, but the whole Labubu thing, that blew up so fucking big. Like, I'm still waiting for the satanic version of the Teletubbies. I think that would be so much more cool. We
are the satanic Teletubbies.
That's true. And it's amazing what people, what does Christianity always preach? False idols, right? Well, they're idolizing all these people, like you're mentioning, that's not giving them any substance, and that's the problem. Yeah. And I love that, through your writing and stuff like that. I think you're trying to hopefully think that somebody will read this and go, okay, cool. It gives me a much better meal.
Well, as I said, I want people to read it and make up their own mind. Think of it. Mm-hmm. Think of if I've written about a topic, I want someone to come up with their own. So I'll just go ahead and give it away. It's not a big secret, but
okay.
So what I did is at the end of each book, there are 10 pages with just lines, with just blank lines. So that way the reader can actually make notes. So if you're reading an essay and you're like, hey, this dude's a moron, you flipped it.
Hopefully that's not what they're thinking.
Hey, and people are people are going to, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. But you can jot down notes in the back of the book and put the page number and reference it and everything. I encourage people to utilize their critical thinking skills. That's the problem these days.
Mm-hmm.
And as we were talking about before we even started recording, this is why most of my essays are as short as they are, because I prefer short and sweet. I was always a short story kind of person anyway. So Yes, the books do contain some pretty lengthy essays, but for the most part, it's just here's my thoughts on it. Here's my point. Move on. Next.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And we think about, um, I hate to say it, and it's fucked up, but attention spans. You
Yes.
know, and it's not. It's. I mean, people are guilty of it. Come on, we all know that. That's why you'll fucking love a 30-second clip. Or a 60-second clip will, and it'll make you go crazy. If
Yeah.
it was 5 minutes long, you probably wouldn't have hung with it. Let's be real. That's why
Yeah.
TikTok is so huge, man,
Yep.
because you're getting hit with shit at micro speed.
Yeah.
So keeping it short and very direct.
Yeah.
And it's like I said, I love your writing because it's not so wordy. You're not dancing around anything.
Yeah.
Whatever it is that you're writing about, there's no reason that nobody can understand what you're
Yeah.
writing.
And I try and keep it light and humorous. I try and
Mhm.
I was always a jokester anyway, so I always try and put a little humor in my writing because nobody wants to read a book of somebody else's ideas and not no laughter, no nothing and everything. That's just bleh. I mean, who would want to buy that? So,
Well, sure.
yeah,
It breaks the tension.
yeah,
We can be
yeah,
serious, but we can also be humorous about it at the same time. Because, at the end of the day, it's like we take ourselves too seriously. And why should we do that? I laugh at myself all the time.
absolutely.
After,
Every time,
that's the first fucking thing I do after I put my paint on. I look at myself in the face.
yeah,
I'm like, ooh, you're spooky. And I just have a good laugh about it,
yeah, yeah. We have to be our own best jokes, man. It's
Gotta be.
people take life way too seriously these days, and if you look, there's so much division right now, and there are so many people that they wake up every morning just yearning to hate somebody. They want it. They're addicted to it. They want to hate you for your political leaning or whatever
Big time.
whatever
Oh, they'll
religion
stop
you.
listening to you right there if you say the
Yeah,
wrong answer. That's why I
and
don't touch the topic.
well, and that's the thing. It's like it we are extremely complex animals. If you are that small-minded that you're going to limit who you speak to based on one aspect of that person, that says more about you than it ever does them.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, we used to be able to have arguments about religion or politics or anything like that. That was 20 minutes, and
Mm-hmm.
then we moved on, and then we talked about music, movies, how green the grass was, how blue the sky was, whatever, and we laughed and carried on. You were
Yeah, we
able to
never
be
hated each other over it.
yeah, and even if you got into a real bad heated argument, you'd punch each other in the face, and then you go buy a beer.
The good old days.
Yeah, I mean, now, man, oh my God, you voted for Donald Trump. Oh, and it's like, oh, good. I mean,
Or vice
wow.
versa.
Yeah,
Vice
I mean,
versa as well.
who cares?
It's
Who
like
cares?
when did that suddenly make us not friends,
Yeah. You know why? Because politics is, and I believe this, politics is officially now the one world religion. It's on
Oh man,
everybody's lips
isn't that so
every
true?
day. Every single day you're bombarded with it. This is who we identify as now. You're either right or left. That's
Mhm.
and it's I'm like that's all you want to know about somebody? No. I don't want to know about that. I want to know why you're wearing Nikes instead of Reeboks. I want to know why you like the Ravens instead of the Steelers. It's like or whatever. There's so much about us that is worth knowing and learning, but we throw all of that out the window because of one thing. And that is small-minded, weak, and pathetic, and I don't have time for people like that.
No, and I honestly, I don't think anyone should.
Yeah.
Last question for you, Achilles. Hey, my brother. Just wondering, have you written any essays on the deeper philosophy behind LaVeyan Satanism? For example, how the Book of Satan reflects Nietzsche's will to power in contrast to Plato's, I can never say that. Is it Georgas? I don't know if I'm saying, or Gorger. Oh, man. I can never say that guy's name right, but I know who you're talking about, where Socrates says it's better to suffer injustice than to commit it. Would love to read your take if you've explored this.
Okay, so no, I haven't written on that, but I'm gonna whoever this person is, I'm just gonna let you know right now. Okay, Achilles.
Yep.
There is no such thing as LaVeyan Satanism.
Thank you.
Such thing. There is Satanism, and there is everything else. Satanism does not require any sect, any additional sects, anything broken up. That's it. The philosophy of Satanism was sound. Period. People who throw other words behind Satanism have it wrong. They've gotten it wrong. So don't get caught up in that, man. Yeah, it's just Satanism.
But honestly, though, I think that would actually be a very cool dichotomy to write about. So, I'm going to ponder that one myself. I like that.
Yeah, you write
because, oh shit, ain't nobody want to hear my writing. There's going to be a lot of cursing and everything else.
He's like, this dude, like this one time was like really bad, and yeah.
I swear the only time that I could ever get anything out that was still from me, you know what I mean, as a writer, was writing lyrics for my bands that I've been in, because somehow I just always found myself in that position. Even the vocalist couldn't write, lyrics, or he had an idea, he just didn't know how to put it into words. And I was like, oh, okay, well, here, let me try this, or through poems. I always felt like, poetry was a way to write where not everything had to rhyme necessarily, but you could just put those thoughts out there and it would still make sense, or make sense to somebody. Yeah. So
writing is a great way to get what's in out. I can't count how many times just something's been on my mind, and I will write for a half hour straight just to write it, and then I delete it. I never intended on putting it out into the to the world or having anybody else read it, but as you're writing it, as you're seeing the words down on the paper or wherever you're writing on, you're kind of connecting with it a little bit deeper, and you're evaluating what you're thinking in that moment. And even if you get done and then you reread it yourself, it's therapy.
I can agree with that. No different than the painter who paints, or the musician that creates, songs, riffs, melodies. And I love that. And if anyone out there in the Black Flame universe is a writer themselves, or somebody who aspires to, hopefully, you've taken, some nods here with this interview, because so many people have so many ways of looking at the same thing. But I feel like Lorcan really puts it in a way that is more organic, more human. You don't have to have this or that kind of thing.
No, and that's the thing is, a lot of people want to put limitations. They want to put up a wall. It's like, no, this is it, period. This is the right way and this is the wrong way. I don't believe that. What's right for me could be wrong for you, and vice versa. just do you. Everyone sees things differently. Everyone.
Mm-hmm.
People who scream for unity, it'll never happen. We're all different. We all want different things. We all have different expectations. Our life experiences have put us on whatever path that we're on. So to think that, of course, and this is the thing. I think this is one of the reasons why a lot of people have attached to the community idea over the
Mm-hmm.
last few years, as heavy as it is, because they can identify with this one thing, this one aspect, and feel like they're a part of something. But that's it. That's all they got. It's just empty. There's no substance to it. So,
Well, sure. I mean, I know for me, I wouldn't want to be a part of something that I didn't get anything out of. Not to just do something for the sake of doing it.
yeah.
And I agree with you 1,000%. These upcoming generations,
Mhm.
it's really about, hey, I want to be on the winning side, I guess, or maybe that's how they view it. Or I don't know where I fit, but that seems like where I should go.
Yeah.
Kind
Well,
of thing.
social media gave everybody a voice,
Yeah,
gave
sure did.
everybody the the opportunity to basically be a movie star.
Right.
You know, so it's quick, it's you get that adrenaline rush. So, but people aren't very intelligent, you know, so they have to resort to these small little ideologies to
That
focus on.
you're absolutely
So,
right.
back in the day, they used to say people were looking for 15 minutes of fame.
Right.
Now it's 15 seconds of fame.
Literally.
Yeah.
No, you are not lying. Man, it has been an absolute blast having you back on the show. Um, can you let us know when this new book is going to drop, the first volume?
Yeah. So the first two volumes, so
Oh, I'm
volume
sorry.
1 and 2 are going to drop on April 30th of next year on Full
Oh,
Purgasnot, which
yep.
incidentally is the 60th anniversary of the Church of Satan.
Yes.
And volume 3 is going to drop most likely Halloween of next year.
And where can everyone that has shown up tonight, and I love you all for doing that, and being so amazing as always, where can they find you, find any updates on the book, where they can get pre-sale or buy it?
Yeah.
Where can they find you?
Just Facebook right now. Just search the page, the Satanic Gospels. Um, I believe it's the only one, so you'll find it there.
Yes, thank goodness.
Yeah. There's a lot of content on the page, so I mean, if you just keep
Mhm.
scrolling back, I put for the longest time I was putting an essay a day.
Mhm.
Um, I had a lot of free time on my hands. I was on a very long vacation.
Yes.
But that I've tamed it down now because, as I was telling you before, I need to start focusing on this, especially the con that I'm starting next
Yes,
year.
absolutely. Very
So
excited about that.
yeah, but that's actually. Are you a fan of the Boondock Saints?
Fuck yeah, all day, every day.
So that
One
we'll
of my
we'll
favorite go-tos.
well that's the con. I've started the first Boondock Con.
Fuck yeah, I love it.
And yep, and I'm in. What was hilarious is I went to the 25th anniversary release of the Boondock Saints, and I met
Hmm.
Troy Duffy, the writer and director, but all of the actors were there. All of the actors from the movie were there, and it wasn't like one of these places where you had to pay to get a photo or pay to get.
No
It was
shit.
it was a party. We were all just hanging out together,
That's
you know,
amazing.
and it was great. So I floated the idea to him. I was like, I can turn this into something a little bit bigger. So we started shooting emails, and then phone call later, and he gave me his blessing. I was like, this is great. So yeah,
Hell
next year,
yeah.
yep. And that's going to be up in Boston. We're going to do that in Boston.
Ooh, well, I mean, that's where the film is kind of based, you know. So I think that's perfect.
Yep.
And man, shit, I know Black Flame Entertainment myself would definitely be interested in that as well. And you guys heard it here first, so you're getting first dibs. Again, exclusive.
Yeah, you'll hear more and more about that in the coming months and everything. But that's why I had to kind of pull back from writing, more for the page and everything, because I've really got to focus on that. But the books, the three books themselves are complete. So that's just sitting, waiting to be released.
Fuck yeah. And we can't wait to get our hands on this. I know I definitely will, especially since I work a square job now versus, I mean, I still own my business. I just don't have a storefront anymore because it's like owning two houses. And in this economy, that's rather tough. Yeah. Unfortunately. So I will definitely get my hands on this. Hopefully this interview has inspired a lot of you out there, not only in the comment section, but those that have been watching this entire time. And we totally appreciate that shit. There's not a lot of times that you will get this intimate, let's put it that way, look into Satanism and, where we are in 2025. I mean, there are still, great podcasts like Satan Splain. I've always had good respect for that one. And like Lorcan says, stay tuned to thechurchofsatan.com. You want to get updates or things to check out and ways to get a lot of your questions answered. But thank you, Lorcan, for taking the time to sit down back in the underground, man. It has absolutely been a blast, and hope that this book does really, really well for you.
And the pleasure is mine, sir. Thank you for inviting me on. And I know I'll be back before the release of the books because I got a few more surprises regarding other collaborations that are going to happen in kind of with the release of the books. So
hell yeah.
Oh yeah. But
man, anytime. You are welcome. Absolutely welcome anytime on the show. And as you know, the underground will always repost everything you got. Feel free to tag me in it, because I mean, I get so much shit. And it's like, if I'm not tagged in it, I don't know about it, but sometimes I will find it. There's just not enough hours in the day to sift through so many things. But thank you guys for joining us. But don't forget, man, in just about, I'd say about 20 minutes, it's time to sin. If you haven't been already, such as us, if you are ready to get your guts busted on this week's goddamn list, get ready for the goddamn program. Hopefully Lorcan will tune in as well and get a good chuckle, because we got a great show this week. So coming up in a little bit, the goddamn program. Don't go anywhere. But the most important thing is fucking be yourself, for you and nobody else. Break them chains that bind you down to what everyone else says you should be doing. You got to make those choices. If you're going to master yourself, then truly look at yourself and always stay heavy.
Thank you for joining us on Rebirth Underground. Stay tuned for more from Black Flame Entertainment.